Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So this morning we're getting the peat and hopper bottom taken down to the farm that we're going to pick the wet ground on. Dad's strength already took off with the tractor and grain cart, so I'm going to head down there and Dad's going to bring us back. Then we'll get the combine and tracks loaded and head down there. So another project I need to do is I want to put a little roof on the back of this crane here for the critter corn stand. A little roof to keep the crows from getting into the bags of cracked corn and bird feed and stuff like that. So that's another project we need to work on. So anyways, I'm gonna get down there, get back, we'll get the combine loaded up, and we'll go pick some corn. Okay, so we got the grain cart and the semi with the hopper bottom down to the field, and we've come back to the shop. Now we're preparing our 45 ton Talbot lowboy to haul the Gleaner on tracks. So what we're doing is we're swinging out our outriggers to make the deck of the trailer wider. We're going to throw these planks on top, and then that'll give us plenty wide deck to catch the tracks on the combine. So I had the excavator, I had to unload it before we could use the trailer because we had it last week. We took it to clean out a couple beaver dams out of culverts with our handy dandy culvert cleaner over there that we threw together. Worked out real good. Next one we do, we'll get some video on it. But so we're gonna get this trailer widened out, and we'll have to stack some blocks up here to the sides for the rear wheels to drive up on to get up to the planks. So on tracked equipment, when it comes up here, it kind of bridges itself until it gets far enough on that it gets the outrigger boards. So as you can see, that's what it'll look like. So probably need to pull that down a little farther yet. So that's plenty far back. So okay, we'll get these laid out, get some blocks out, and we'll get the combine on the trailer. Okay, we're loaded up, chained down, we're ready to go. So we put the shorter blocks in the neck of the trailer to lower the ride height. So we're good to go. We've driven the route that we're going to take. It's all back roads. We're not going super far, and there's no obstructions in our way. So we're going to take off and head to the field. Well, we got a little bit behind in video, but we did make it to the field. We had to go look at some work on the Yellow River. So we're back from lunch now, and we're gonna get a good start. Clifton's gonna come run the drone so we get some drone video. So I'm gonna get her backed off the trailer. We got her chains all off, and we got her blocks set where we need them. We'll go ahead and get backed off, and we're gonna head to one of the 3 spots here. I think we're gonna go over there first. That's where I pulled the combine out all by myself with the excavator. That was L2 number 1 that I pulled out over there. So we're gonna go try that spot first. This is fantastic. I've drove through every spot that we had gotten stuck so far with no problem. there because I come in on my tracks that I had made with L2 number 1 where I got stuck, and I needed a little bit of boost getting up and out of the ruts because I was 3/4 of the way full. So I went and unloaded the hopper and made a pass back this other way, and now we're on our last pass here. I would have never done this with tires, that's for sure. I don't even know if I would have done it with straddle wheels in the mud hog. It's pretty soft through here. Well, I don't know what to think about this, but I got stuck. I got sucked right into where my dad got stuck with 1660. Sucked me right in. Must have been a little bit too heavy. And now I'm stuck. So Dad's strength's gonna unload the cart. We're gonna gently pull on it and see if we can't get it backed out. Yeah, I can't move. Mud hog just spins. I tried to shut the mud hog off and back out. That didn't work. Tried to drive forward a little bit. That didn't work. Oh, man. But hey, we're already 3/4 of the way done with this wet corn. So this muck is just unforgivable. You know, it's just, there's just soft spots all over out here. You don't know where they're going to be, and you don't know when you're going to drive into one. We'll get it out, no big deal. But we've gotten a lot farther than we did ever before with tires. So this is definitely working. It's just a soft spot. I guess I should have backed up back here and went around it. But I thought it didn't look very deep. I thought I can drive right through there and be okay. Well, boy, was I wrong. We'll get her out. Well, thank you, Dad, for coming and pulling me out with the 9300. The 4955 wouldn't budget, but we got her out. So we know its limitations now. Everything has its limitations. So we won't be going down in there no more, but this winter we will be hauling some sand from that sand hill down in this hole and some other holes out here. So get that fixed up. Let's get back to picking corn now. A little bit nasty. Okay, so we're on our last little patch of corn here, and we're just about done. I'm very happy with the speed that I'm able to pick with. I was really worried that I wasn't going to have enough ground speed, but everything's working out great. Getting stuck, that was just, if you ask me, that was a learning experience. Taught me a lot about what I can and cannot do with the combine. We learned one thing: do not go through previous tracks, really neat tracks from a combine, because you can possibly get stuck. What had happened was I had followed them 6 rows out, and I thought I could straddle where Dad got stuck. Well, I ended up sliding off in his hole, and then I was done. So no big deal. Got it out, went and got the 9300, which is already down here. Unhooked like you seen in the video, or the drone video you see, and he pulled me out. So, a viewer told me just to pull nice and steady on the combine, and it'll come right out. So, you gotta let the tracks kind of dig themselves out as they go. They're not like a tire where they'll just come right up on top of the ground. The tracks have worked out wonderful. I'm very happy with it. They've already paid for themselves. So, it was worth the time to do it. I think we're a row off here, so we're going to skip a row. Nah, we're not going to worry about skipping a row. It'll go in there. Yeah, let's just skip a row. We'll be fine. They're short rows anyways. I don't know how it ended up a row off. So anyways, the tracks were definitely a great idea and worth the time of putting on. And I enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I know viewers had a lot of fun watching me do it, even though they're on backwards. But we will fix that. No big deal. I don't see them really causing a problem being backwards. Just we're worried about the wear. They're staying cleaned out. I know a viewer said that Larson Farms was having trouble with keeping their tracks clean. Well, you also got to remember that those are rubber tracks. Rubber tracks are a little bit different story than steel tracks. Steel tracks seem to stay cleaned out. And I don't know exactly why, but they just seem to stay cleaned out a little better. I think it's because they flex so much and that it keeps the mud worked out of them. Where a rubber track, I think it just kind of sticks around the rubber, and because they're not independently hinged, I don't think it knocks the dirt out as well. And plus, this undercarriage is pretty open, so there's not much space for stuff to get crammed in there and stuck. It just kind of falls out. So it's been working out good. You got to remember different soil type. We're in muck. Clay is a lot more sticky and it'll stay in places like that and pile up and stay stuck. Where the muck, it just kind of oozes out and it's gone. So you'll notice in the drone videos, you'll see my dad disking. You're probably like, well, how's he disking out there if they couldn't drive across it with a wheel type combine? Well, you gotta remember, a four-wheel drive tractor, it's four-wheel drive all the time. Plus, he's got 8 tires, and the 30-foot disc is rolling on top of the ground. So, he's got low ground pressure on the disc. It's kind of rolling, so it's not like he's kind of low ground pressure with the whole unit. So, that's how he's staying up and not getting stuck. There's a few times he had to shallow the disc up just a little bit, let it ride on the wheels a little to get it moving again, but there's a few times that were iffy. I was watching him spin, but what he's trying to do is, he was down here anyways discing cover crop in on the high ground. What he wanted to do was cut up some of this stalk residue a little bit, get a little dirt thrown on it so that it'll rot over the winter, and kind of cut it up a little bit because it's pretty heavy stalks. So that's the story behind that. It's pretty amazing where an articulated tractor will go compared to like a front wheel assist or a combine. Combine's got a lot of ground pressure right over the front tires. You got the head hanging on, you got the weight of the machine sitting on them. So, you know, it's not all spread out. And I will say it's probably not as wet as it was out here, but it's still pretty soft. I mean, I don't think I would have picked this with tires. And plus, it's just easier with the tracks, because if I'm not even getting close to getting stuck, I'm freely rolling, you know, it just makes life easier. I'm not fighting to steer, I'm not, you know, I'm just cruising right along. That is the nice thing about them, is I haven't had a steering issue one with them so far. Other than when I was in a really wet stuff and I had to kick the mud hog on and slide the combine around a little. But for the most part, they steer just fine with no mud hog. So, it's really an enjoyable experience picking the steel tracks. I like them. Now, I definitely am not going to run all 1,600 acres with steel tracks, that's for sure. You know, but they are going to be handy for the really wet spots and the really wet falls. They're going to be very handy to have. just another tool in the arsenal, you know. Gives me an advantage to farm some pretty wet ground. So anyways, thank you for watching. We're going to finish this out, and then we'll be done tonight. Still got my buddy Josh's 40 acres to go, so there'll be more video. So I'm gonna get this done, head home, do a little video editing, and try to maybe get a video up tonight. We'll see what happens. So thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for our new subscribers that came over from Dirt Perfect's channel. I really appreciate you coming over to check us out. So I hope you enjoyed the channel. So, thank you for watching.